Both Christianity and Islam claim to honor Jesus' teachings, yet both deny his instruction about ritual prayer. Jesus teaches that we should not be like the heathens and hypocrites that pray in public. They pray publicly to be seen publicly for their holiness. Such prayer has no reward before God, which is why Jesus instructs us to pray in secret, in a closet. He is not talking about your literal closet, but talking about your mind. You can be in a crowded room and yet always have that private space, that is your mind. The instruction to pray in a closet is about aligning our minds with the Spirit of God so that our actions, or the fruits we bear, shall be the fruits of selfless love instead of selfishness. Scripture reveals that the literal word is dead and kills the spiritual word. The word prayer is a dead, literal word that is made alive or fulfilled when we know the living spirit of the word. To be in prayer with God is to keep one's thoughts, desires, and actions aligned with the Spirit of God. Prayer is not a literal ritual, but a way of life. This is further confirmed in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17, which instructs us to pray without ceasing. If prayer is a literal ritual, then it would be impossible to pray without ceasing, because we have all sorts of other things we need to do in our daily lives, like cooking, cleaning, going to work, etc. But it is not impossible to pray without ceasing when we understand that prayer is a way of life. Prayer is not some dead, literal ritual, but is about keeping the spirit of selfless love at the forefront of everything we think, say, and do. The Islamic belief in the critical importance of rigid prayer schedules that require Muslims to pray in the direction of the city of Mecca is false as far as the Quran is concerned, which holds no such importance to ritual prayer, but instructs followers to pour out the spirit of selfless love. The following verse from the Quran addresses both literal prayer and the substantive meaning of prayer. Literal prayer requires Muslims to face the city of Mecca when they pray, meaning that Muslims, depending upon where they are, might have to point themselves to the east or to the west. This type of prayer is not righteousness, according to the Quran, but rather righteousness is by good works and by quote-unquote steadfast prayer. The Quran's instruction of steadfast prayer is the same as the Bible's instruction to pray without ceasing, indicating that prayer is not a ritual but a way of life. In the Quran, we learn that prayer is not a literal ritual in chapter 2, verse 177, which states, "It is not righteousness that you turn your faces towards east or west, but it is righteousness to believe in God and the last day and the angels and the book and the messengers, to spend of your substance out of love for him, for your kin, for orphans, for the needy, for the wayfarer, for those that ask, and for the ransom of slaves, to be steadfast in prayer and practice regular charity, to fulfill the contracts which you have made, and to be firm and patient in pain and adversity, and throughout all periods of panic. Such are the people of truth, the God-fearing." If prayer is not a literal ritual, but a way of life, then why must we get down upon our knees and clasp our hands and say a bunch of words to God? If we are to pray ceaselessly, then the true definition of prayer is about unclasping our hands and getting up off our bony knees and instead walking the way of selfless love in everything we do. Thank you.